She's America's favorite strawberry blonde. He played America's least favorite strawberry blonde on TV. Can today's contestants connect Lindsay Lohan to Alec Baldwin in no fewer than 5 and no more than 9 movies? We're going to find out together on today's 5 to 9. Welcome to 5 to 9, the movie game for movie fans. I'm your host, Eric Ginsberg, and we're coming to you from Asbury Park's best movie theater, the Showroom Cinema. Do you love movies? Do you love getting lost in the IMDb, the Internet Movie Database? Do you love thinking through, who was that guy? Who was in that thing? What's his face? Then this game is for you, and this is your show. Our first guest today can quote just about every line from his favorite childhood movie. Let's welcome to the show, Matt Daniels. Matt, can you tell me what is your favorite part from The Last Dragon?
So my favorite part, and hello, Eric. Thank you for having me on, us on. My favorite part of The Last Dragon has to be the climactic penultimate scene in which Leroy gets the glow. Now, Leroy is the starring character, obviously, of The Last Dragon, and the whole movie is a movie about him finding his greater power, aka the glow, all the while being very humble. And so at the end of the penultimate scene of the movie, he finally gets what is called the glow. I hope I'm not spoiling for anyone still working their way around to The Last Dragon. You know, this is very old movie.
It's like I'm watching a trailer right now. Keep going. You're good. You're doing great.
I am Leroy. I'm the glow. But I love that scene because Leroy is very humble, and he doesn't really, I'd say, try to get this glow in a really malicious way, but it all happens in a very, very, I guess you could call it human and a humble way. And so that would be my favorite scene in The Last Dragon. And I encourage anyone that hasn't seen The Last Dragon and isn't turned off by my spoiling to go and watch The Last Dragon.
I think my favorite part is when Shonuff says, "Kiss my Converse."
Kiss my Converse.
Because I was a kid and I didn't know what Converse was, but in my adult life, I wear almost exclusively Converse, and I'm waiting for an opportunity to break it out as a line. Now, Matt, you are a member of a lot of bands. You are a drummer and a singer-songwriter. You play drums and sing in the Welcome Mats. You play drums for Type Advantage, for Levy Oken, for Double Teacher Feature, and you are a singer-songwriter in Flexiglass. Can you tell us what is maybe your favorite part about playing in a band?
So that is correct. As any of my friends in these bands will tell you, I am in a lot of bands. And my favorite part about being in these bands, we started Flexiglass about, I'd say, 4 or 5 years ago. And we started it to play music with our friends, to make this art with our friends. And through that, I've had the opportunity to be in a bunch of these other bands with my friends. And I've gone through the whole wanting to be a successful artist bit and all of that. And I now find that true success is A, being able to obviously maintain yourself, but B, actually enjoying the work that you're doing. And so shouts out to everyone in those bands. Love y'all very much and very happy to be making art and making music with my friends.
Right on, right on. Yeah, that was maybe the best advice that I got when I was looking at, being a musician and doing band stuff. I think it was Trey Cool, the drummer of Green Day, who said that the best way to make a band is to just be in a band with your friends. Because these are 3 friends who just love hanging out together. And I think we've all seen bands that we loved that did not love each other, that broke up, and maybe they had the best musicians in the world, but they didn't have personalities that worked together. And so those things were fleeting, and Green Day is forever.
Looking your way, Oasis.
Looking right in your limey way. So guys, our next guest says that his guilty pleasure movie is Magic Mike, and I just have to know why. Let's welcome James Dalton to the show. James, tell me, why is Magic Mike your guilty pleasure movie?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on board today. I appreciate anything that you do, Eric, and I'm glad to be a part of this very illustrious and very important academic exercise. We
were trying to get you on this show as far back as season 1, and here we are in season 2, and we got you.
We got you. I've been gotten.
Close the gates. We got them.
I've been gotten. So If I could tell you something about Magic Mike, the first film, not the XXL or whatever is just coming out recently.
Sure.
No, I'm not concerned with those.
Sure.
The first Magic Mike film, and I'm gonna defend this statement. The first Magic Mike film is basically Channing Tatum's Saturday Night Fever.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, because it's not some ridiculous cash grab of a bunch of dudes getting naked on screen. No. This is a movie with heart.
Mm-hmm.
This is the struggles of, and I say this actually with serious. There's actually a bit of struggle and risk and danger and melancholy in this film that no one wanted to know, because it's like, look, you've got a pretty guy who's basically just a stripper. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not really a sad story in America.
Which Channing Tatum was prior to being an actor.
Exactly my point. Like, here's a guy who basically, if you haven't seen the film, you go into it saying, okay, there's a bunch of dudes that are really pretty, getting stripped naked down, doing a bunch of like partying with a bunch of hot chicks, and that's what you think it's going to be. But it's not about that. It's about being from the lesser extravagant parts of Florida. I'm not going to criticize Florida on here, but there's, it's about being on the Gulf Coast side, the Panhandle side, and it's about coming up hard, and he's surrounded by melancholy, sadness. There's a lot of hard drugs and sad stories to this, and I feel like this movie is a it's a guilty pleasure, because when I watch it, I get emotional watching it. There's a man who's trying to fight his way to find himself and to find a better life for himself, and I think the whole world wants to get in his way.
Well, I feel like it was a little bit of a bait and switch in that it was marketed, for like thirsty ladies to go see rock hard abs.
Yeah.
And then they got a think piece.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way. It's very similar in a way to SLC Punk.
Okay.
Because I saw SLC Punk in the movie theater, and going in, it's a bunch of like crust punks, and they've got like leather jackets with spikes and mohawks. Yeah, movie for us. And they walked out depressed. They walked out with like a lot of hands on shins and worrying, have I made bad choices in my life? But James, I'm so excited that your show, Asbury Park and Me, this great combination of songs and spoken word, is continuing to make the rounds. I've seen it right here at the showroom. But can you tell us about your one-man show and where it started?
Well, the idea of it, I first of all, I did a one-person show back in 2007. I opened it up. It was called Shanghai to Memphis, which is basically just a travel story. It was about me flying from Shanghai all the way to Memphis for 2 different gigs. I had one gig on Monday and a gig on Wednesday. One was Shanghai, one was Memphis, Tennessee.
Sure, and that was after you spent a month in Shanghai,
yes,
right?
Exactly. And so I did this show at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival in 2007. Now, that was the first time I tried to do something like that. I have been involved in theater festivals on and off for years, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to take the model of the singer-songwriter storytelling show and bring it to a theater audience, a sit-down theater audience, and I accomplished that with that show. Asbury Park and Me was me trying to tell myself, I'd say about a year and a half ago, I realized that I was out of touch with the European audiences I used to work and play for a lot.
Sure.
And I was out of touch with a lot of things, and I was like, what can I do to get back into that world? Because I'm very happy there. I'm very happy in the Fringe Festival universe. I'm very happy in the small theater space. I like that. I do a lot of bar gigs. I do a lot of club gigs, and I do all that stuff for dancing audiences and drunken audiences, all these things. But I wanted to have a quiet audience that was going to be sitting and listening, that I could try to take unencumbered from one place to another. And this particular show, I realized, what do I have to offer the overseas audiences? Well, I have all this experience in this crazy music town that we're sitting in right now.
Absolutely.
I have all this experience that they all want to know about. So the very first incarnation of Asbury Park and Me was basically it looked like a travel guide or like a tour guide piece of like my experience in the clubs and the backstage areas of this town. But then when I finally did it in Asbury, I did it at the Stephen Crane House.
Sure.
So what happened with this show, it became less about the tour guide, I don't want to say cash grab again on the same podcast here, but it was instead of me just saying, look at all the crazy stuff at the Stone Pony Europeans, or look at all the crazy stuff I did at the Saint. Remember that time I worked with Clarence Clemens, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't what the show was about anymore. The show was about me and my journey coming up as well. It was me being Magic Mike, honestly,
Full circle.
Full circle. It was me doing my own Magic Mike story. It was me just talking about not just being a guy who plays these clubs here in this town, but it was me outside of town. It was me far away, with on my own as a solo artist, bouncing through Eastern Europe with nobody or China or wherever it was, and me trying to do it all myself and trying to keep myself. And missing home and missing these places and missing the people I knew here and not knowing what love was and not knowing what friendship was and feeling all these feelings. And so the show turned into this really confessional, emotional thing that's less about, look at me, how cool I am, I work at the Pony, or, that here's my Bruce story or whatever it is.
Sure, everyone's got a Bruce story in this town.
Exactly. That's why I didn't want to do the show
It's a town full of Bruce stories.
I didn't want to do it in this town because of that. I'm like, what am I going to do? Like say, hey, I worked at the Stone Pony once, and the whole audience would say,
me too.
Yeah, so did we, jerk. And I got better stories than you, Mr. Dalton.
Yeah.
So instead of that, it's a really it's a confessional thing, and it's an exploration on my feelings, my heart.
Sure.
And like you said, it's going. It's in New York in April, and it's going to go over to Europe in the summer again.
Outstanding. Hopefully this episode airs by then. So, guys, we have brought you here to play 5 to 9, but before we do, we're going to do a little warm-up round. Before the show, we asked you to both write down the names of 5 actors. We're going to pull out one name from the hat and give you guys 60 seconds to name as many of their movies as possible. Any movie they appeared in counts. Are you guys ready for this? Jason, can you give us 60 seconds on the clock?
I'll ever be.
We're spitting them out?
Absolutely. As fast as you can.
Can I get more of me in this, please?
For points.
Yes,
right.
Please give
For points, as many movies as you can name with Jonah Hill. Clock starts now.
Superbad.
That's 1.
Moneyball.
That's 2.
Acceptance.
That's 3. Accept it. I'll give it to you.
Thank you very much. That's it. Thank you for accepting that.
The End of the World film. What is that?
I'll give it to you. The End of the World.
The End of the World.
40-year-old version.
Actually, it's called It's the End, but I'll give it to you.
40-year-old version.
40-year-old
Great role
virgin.
for him. Yeah.
And before that, what was after that, what was he in? Same director.
It's not
Knocked Up.
Yeah. It was Knocked Up. It was. I was trying to think of the same thing. Well done. Man,
what else was he in, dude?
We got 6. Where are we on time?
You said the
Wolves of Wall Street.
There you go.
That's 7.
That's
Boom.
Leo one.
His most recent movie?
I can't think of the name of it right now.
Shouts out to
Oh wait! Isn't he in with Channing Tatum in the cop movie? What is it?
21 Jump Street.
Yes.
Yes. In 22 Jump Street.
That's 9 movies.
We did it. We got it.
That is time.
That is time, guys. 9 movies. Jason, what else can you give us?
Pretty much anything with Seth Rogen in it. So we got Sausage Party.
There you go.
Is an absolute classic. He was also the voice of the Green Lantern in all of the Lego Batman movies.
That is correct. And the direction he was given for that, he was given no script. Channing Tatum played Superman, and Jonah Hill's only direction was annoy Channing Tatum.
That's great.
So that's how he approached the role of Green Lantern, Lego Green Lantern.
And Eric's hint of most recent movie, I don't think You People has been released yet, but
it has.
Okay, then You People just
You
came
People
out recently.
is out with Eddie Murphy, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
And then the pandemic blockbuster is Don't Look Up.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go. So he's been in a lot of movies, guys. But, guys, now we're going to talk about the actual game. The real reason we invited you here is to play the movie game 5 to 9, where you'll have to connect 2 actors through no fewer than 5 and no more than 9 movies. Again, I'm going to pull names out of the hat. And you guys can open up your game pads now.
All right. Okay. Is this going to be like peanut brittle can? Are these pages going to jump at me like snakes?
Nope, these are not going to jump at
I'm
you
not
like
ready.
snakes.
Should I open it away from the mic?
No, it doesn't matter.
Snakes in a movie theater? Oh, wait.
Guys,
There you go.
That's us opening our packages.
Perfect.
Gamepad
I love
opening
that.
ASMR is totally fine on this show. We're
I
trying
love
to sell some units, people.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah, dude.
Wait. Here, I'm flipping through the pages.
Can't
There we go.
wait for the 5 to 9 NFT to drop, guys. That's
So,
gonna be
guys,
awesome.
we're going to start from Lindsay Lohan, and we're
Goodness
trying
gracious.
to get to...
And I got to write this down, don't I?
Yep, we're trying to get to
Lindsay.
Alec Baldwin. Now, for bonus points, we're going to draw a wild card. So if you can get there through Gabrielle Union, you can get 3 extra points. I know you didn't just ask who is
We'll discuss.
Gabrielle
We'll
Union.
no, I think he said, what was she in?
Oh, what
But-
was she in? So, guys, of course, Kevin Bacon, our perennial wild card, good for 2 points. Also, any SNL cast member will get you 1 point. Alec Baldwin, despite his many appearances on Saturday Night Live, was never an official cast member. And then today's house rule is going to be the 80s. So any movie you can give us that was in the 80s will get you a bonus point today. Let's put Lindsay Lohan in our from spot, and your job is to talk it out and see what you can figure out. Can you get from Lindsay Lohan to Alec Baldwin, maybe through Gabrielle Union? Maybe Gabrielle Union is a good place to start because you can kind of think of some movies she's been in and go outward from there.
Oh, all right.
I think you're going to have to carry this one.
Oh, I mean, I need your help for sure.
Now, guys, before you start shouting stuff out, I'll tell you, you're going to be playing together, and I'll be here on the sidelines with Jason to help along, not too much.
Okay.
As always, we apologize in advance to the actors who spent a career building a body of work whose faces we know, but whose names we may butcher, and all the hardworking writers, directors, and producers who picked the perfect name for a film that we may likely fumble through. I swear, we really do love your work. Gentlemen, let's play the game.
All right.
Is Herbie an actor?
Herbie.
I feel like
Fully Loaded?
Herbie. No,
Herbie the Love Bug?
Yeah, I feel like Herbie was an actor when I was a kid, so I think that still counts.
I don't think Herbie is an actor. No, that's a prop.
No.
Wait a minute, it seemed like so convincing.
So
I don't even know where you're starting with Herbie.
I know
'cause
Wasn't
Lindsay
Lindsay
Lohan
Lohan-
was in Herbie the Love Bug.
That's what I'm trying to
right.
say. That's what I'm trying to say.
Who played her dad in that movie?
I don't know. Who's Gabrielle Union?
So Gabrielle Union, she was in Bad Boys.
She was?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, is she the hot girl with the? No, that's not her. That's-
Yeah. She was Bad Boys. Sorry, she wasn't in Bad Boys.
She was
She's
in Bad Boys
2. Thank you.
The original Bad
for-
Boys starred Tay Leone as the female lead in that one.
Appreciate you.
Mhm.
That's called that little bit of help. I see.
There you go.
I see you.
All right, so
But Lindsay Lohan, I know one that could be easy for us to get from. It's Freaky Friday.
all right, okay.
'Cause Jamie Lee Curtis was in there as well.
Okay. So we're right. So Freaky Friday,
Mhm.
right? So so we start with from Lindsay, right? All right.
Yep. With are we gonna go Jamie? I mean, who else was in that movie?
She was in Freaky Friday. Okay.
Yeah.
Freaky.
Jamie Lee Curtis. What was Jamie Lee Curtis in?
She's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
She
it's-
is.
Wait.
You take this ball,
Decades and
you
decades of
roll.
movies.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Shout out. She
All
was
right,
in
so-
that Activia commercial.
Wait. Well, she was. Yeah, she was with Activity. Yeah, she's totally regular from that too. By the
There you
way.
go.
That's what I hear.
But before, so Jamie Lee Curtis was in Trading Places when I was a kid, and that was a
She
big
was?
one. She was also in the film with Arnold Schwarzenegger, which was True Lies.
Uh-huh.
So there's a couple of big people.
When they were making True Lies, James Cameron was so dead set on Tom Arnold playing that part that when the studio said absolutely not, he picked up and took the movie across the street to a different studio.
oh,
He was that dead set on Tom Arnold being the part that he played in that.
Oh, that Tom Arnold.
that he played in that.
I cannot remember the name of the
I
character,
heard,
but
but
he was phenomenal.
Yeah, I
you
don't.
gave us the name of the actor.
Yeah,
That's enough for
I'm only
me.
thinking of two people in that film. And,
Okay.
But, sorry.
What
So
else
Jamie
Jamie Lee Curtis in?
So Jamie Lee Curtis. We got Arnold Schwarzenegger,
For sure.
and we got Eddie Murphy, and we have because in Trading Places, and then we have what's his name, Dan Aykroyd, amongst a lot of other people.
I
But those
mean,
are some
sure.
those are some three big people.
We know that Alec was probably in. Was he in any?
Let's do Eddie Murphy because he's an SNL cast
say
member.
that, yeah, any SNL.
Sure. So we'll go
Uh,
Trading Places
movies.
with Eddie
Trading
Murphy.
Places.
Now, I will tell you that after Dan Aykroyd starred with Eddie Murphy in Trading Places, Dan Aykroyd wrote Ghostbusters to star Dan Aykroyd, John Belushi, and Eddie Murphy. But Eddie Murphy turned down the role because he wanted to make Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh.
And Ghostbusters wound up being the #2 grossing movie of the year. #1, Beverly Hills Cop.
Look at that,
Mm.
smart man, Eddie.
So wait, we have Eddie Murphy. Where do we want to go from Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, it's
'Cause
a
he
good
was
question. Do we want to go Beverly Hills Cop? Do we want to go?
Well, who was he in Beverly Hills Cop with?
I mean, he's been in a lot of movies with a
Which,
lot of
which is
people.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, he's,
I'm not sure. I want to go Beverly Hills Cop.
well,
I'm just
he was in.
spitballing.
I want to say not Judd Ness. He was in. Well, you know.
I can think of a way to get from Eddie Murphy to Gabrielle Union,
well,
and
I'm
this
all
is
ears
hurting me
I still
because
don't know
I
who
can't
she
give
is.
it away.
Thank you for hurting me by saying that. I'm a masochist. This is great.
Well, so wait.
What was Gabrielle Union in? Hold on, let's talk about Gabrielle Union. James is at a loss. If you see her face,
I
you
know
would
I'll see
know
her face, but I
she
can't see her
was
face.
among many other phenomenal roles. She was the only black member of the short-term cast on Friends. She dated Ross Geller, and
she did.
he said he specifically pushed to get more diversity in the show, and the best he could get was a couple episodes for Gabrielle Union.
Wow! Shout out David Swimmer for that. That's cool. We can't do TV though.
No,
right?
this is a movie game.
No.
Yeah, it's a TV.
We're in a movie
I
theater.
still don't see her.
It's not a TV theater.
I still don't see her.
I get it. I just, I wish
All right.
I just wanted more diversity.
That's
in all these
cool.
picks.
Well, we have a lot of movies we can get to before we get to Alec Baldwin.
Yeah,
so.
Sure.
we don't have to do Gabrielle.
Well, so
You
what's
don't
a
have
movie?
to.
What's the direction we can go with Eddie Murphy, who he was in another movie with somebody big?
He was in Coming to America with Arsenio.
With everybody.
Yeah.
He says he's
Actually,
only been
you know
to
what?
And
Arsenio's
James-
house once.
You know what?
And Arsenio basically lives at his house. He comes over.
You know what?
Arsenio is like neighbor Larry or like neighbor Charlie from a classic sitcom. Arsenio just shows up at Eddie's house.
Listen, he was in with we can go crazy with this one. He was in Coming to America with James Earl Jones.
Yes, he was.
Let's do that because that's
Yes,
fun.
he
Because
was.
James Earl Jones goes other directions. He actually goes back to Arnold
line.
Schwarzenegger too. Actually, but
I love that.
who was in
Coming to America.
Coming to America
Brilliant, my friend.
Coming to Amex. I'm gonna write that instead.
I'm gonna ask for a little bit of help here. Jason, can you tell us who plays the Queen alongside James Earl Jones's
Bassett.
King?
It's Bassett, right?
No, it's not Angela Bassett. She
I
plays
want
the
it to
Queen
be.
in Wakanda Forever and
Wakanda
in
Forever.
Black Panther. But
Love
the name
those
of the
movies.
actress who plays the Queen in Coming to America alongside James Earl Jones's King. Help me out here, because these two actors were not only King and Queen in that movie, they were also King and Queen together alongside each other in The Lion King.
Oh, wow.
They basically reprised their roles
Simba.
as lions.
Right.
Oh, that was Madge Sinclair.
Thank you so much.
Ooh.
I could not have come up with that
I had
name.
to look it up for Coming to America, but as soon as you said Lion King, I'm like, oh, that is that.
So James Earl Jones, we have a lot of stuff we can do. We can go Darth Vader with him.
You
We
could.
could.
We can do all the
go-
Star Wars films and go to like Harrison Ford or something like that.
Yeah, I think I'd
Throwing that
like
out
to
there.
go to the. No, I think the Star Wars films are a good place to start there.
Well, you can get from Harrison Ford to Alec Baldwin a couple different ways, but they both played Jack Ryan, though not in the same movie.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
But also
Thank
you
you
have
for that.
But you have Mark Hamill, which takes us to the Batman animated series films, which is a series, but they were
Technically
films.
films.
Yes.
Batman Mask of the Phantasm and
exactly.
Batman Sub-Zero, both films,
Also-
first of which was released in theaters.
Also, Batman Mask of not Mask. Batman Return of the Joker, which was a film.
Is a Batman Beyond film.
Batman Beyond film.
It's-
Return of the
okay.
Joker.
All right, I'll give it to you. It's a
Just saying.
direct-to-video, but I would
But
give
anyway,
it to you.
we're getting ahead of ourselves because right
For your
now
kindness.
James Earl Jones was in which Star Wars film do we want to do?
All right. Here's a big one that I'll reveal on this podcast. Never seen a Star Wars film. Never.
Which I won't hold
Ever.
against you.
Our friends.
So you got to tell me. 'Cause-
Well, can you see any of these actors
can
in
you
your
cut
face?
that part? Here, please?
Oh, no, that's definitely
here's-
A-roll. That's
here's a list of actors that were in Star Wars films in the beginning. Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
you had Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
you had Harrison Ford.
Did Sam L, was he in the latter three?
He was in the last
He was
three. Yeah,
in
but,
the first
but not
three
with James Earl
in
Jones's voice.
sequence, but the middle three in production.
Okay.
He was in episodes 1, 2, and 3. His conditions were he had to have a purple lightsaber.
But he actually they meet each other in the very, very last film though. The very last
Nice.
of the prequels, because James Earl Jones came back and did his voice in the very end.
You are right.
So that could work there.
when Anakin finds out that
So-
Padme is dead,
So, yeah,
and
yeah.
James Earl Jones
comes
does the
back
voice.
and goes no.
Yeah,
horribly.
that's the line.
Yeah.
Spitballing. I mean, like
They
if
got
you
James
think-
Earl Jones just to do the no.
Yes.
Pretty much. You know, he goes, "Where's
At-
Padme?" No
Money well spent.
That'd be
Yep.
$200,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Money well spent.
200,000. That was like, here's a bunch of millions.
Well, now you can just plug into a James Earl Jones computer.
Who was in? So that was which one was that? That was
Number. We'll cut it out.
I know.
Number.
3. It was
Right. I'll give it to you.
It was
Star Wars Episode 3.
episode 3. Okay, Star Wars Ep 3 with
Star Wars Episode
With-
3.
Samuel L. Jackson.
We're
Right,
going with Sam. Which we could, I guess, go.
takes us a lot of directions.
Yeah. Well, where are we at? 1, 2. The first one. Does that count as a step?
Now,
Or-
I will tell you, we could have saved a step on account of Samuel L. Jackson also in Coming to America.
Do we want to save steps? We have all these things we got to
We
film.
wanted to get
Well,
to
you
5.
have minimum
you know.
5,
We wanted to-
maximum 9,
Okay.
fewer
I
movies,
thought we were having
more
fun.
points.
I thought it was just having fun.
you
Okay,
know
we're
what?
having fun.
I
All right.
am having fun.
Yeah.
guys.
So
I'm having a
let's
great
go to
time.
Nick Fury. What do you say? Have you seen all the Marvel films?
I'm cool. I have not, but we're going James Earl Jones, Star Wars Episode 3. Where are we going from that side?
Samuel Jackson.
All right, cool.
Which you can go in any direction because
Yeah,
Samuel Jackson.
That's cool with me.
We can go to Leonardo DiCaprio right now if you want.
That's cool with me.
Because
How are we
I
gonna
think
get-
We should. We should.
We need
start,
direction.
We need to start.
what's a
getting
movie?
towards out.
Well, what was a movie that Gabrielle Union was in that was like her biggest film?
I mean, I think for me, it's Bad Boys 2 because that's
So we got to get to either Martin Lawrence or Will Smith.
Well, we're trying to get that. We're trying to use Gabrielle.
Well, here's the thing. If you get to Gabrielle Union and you only have one movie, you're stuck. You're at a dead end.
So I think that we should definitely. What movies was Alec Baldwin in?
Yeah,
so
let's
that we
start
can
working backwards.
Working backwards.
He's been in a lot, but what movies was she in? And I can try to think of what.
But we
Baldwin
don't
was.
need her to win the game, and we need
I know, but
Alec
we
Baldwin
need,
to win the
I
game.
know, but I'm trying to think of what movies those two were in together.
They were not.
Well, there you go.
They have no movies together. My mental
All right,
IMDb.
so she was in Bad Boys. So we need
Gabrielle
to
Union
we need
and
to
Alec
figure
Baldwin?
out.
Is that what you're saying? Have no movies together?
Gabrielle Union and Alec Baldwin. Am I
think
wrong?
they did.
They have one.
Ooh, in my
Oh.
face.
We're gonna
save it for the funsies.
That's in the.
We'll save it for the fun stuff later.
Wow.
See, I knew
what
it. I knew
movies was Alec Baldwin in? Just so we could start to.
Well, Baldwin was in. He's in the last Mission Impossible film, which is a
He's in a
random
couple
thing.
of them, yeah.
Yeah, he's in a couple of Mission Impossible films. Well, that gives us Tom Cruise, and then
Does.
and a bunch of other great people. But he was also in. He's in
Wait.
Beetlejuice,
you've got
Beetlejuice.
it. Wait. You've got it.
Tom Cruise.
Wait, because who else has recently started coming into the Mission Impossible franchise in the last 2 movies?
Is that Gabrielle
Not
Union?
Samuel L.
Not Gabrielle Union,
And also not Samuel L.
not Samuel L. Jackson, but he connects to Samuel L. Jackson if, like you said, Samuel L. Jackson is Nick Fury. What actor?
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner, and
so let's show
we've
this
done
bad
it.
boy out. Let's show this bad boy out.
Samuel L. Jackson is in Pick a Movie with Jeremy Renner.
Avengers.
Sure, that'll do it.
That works. Yeah.
That'll do it. They're in a very early scene together. So we have Avengers with Jeremy Renner, who is in Mission Impossible. Which one? Give me a number or give me a name.
Ghost Protocol.
That'll
Thank
do
you.
it. Ghost Protocol with
Tom Cruise.
Alec Baldwin,
Baldwin.
which was the whole
Oof.
point, and
My
get
bad.
you to the
Thank
win.
you very much.
To
Man,
the
we
win.
need that help, dog.
Guys, you just did it in 6 movies. Let's recap what we
No,
did.
7 movies.
We did. Lindsay Lohan was in Freaky Friday, who was in Trading Places with Eddie Murphy, who is in Coming to America with James Earl Jones, who's in Star Wars Episode 3 just barely with Samuel L. Jackson, who's in The Avengers with Jeremy Renner, who's in Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol with Alec Baldwin. Now, let me ask you, because I gave you an alley-oop before, as much as we love James Earl Jones, would you like to save a movie and earn a point by saying Samuel L. Jackson was also in Coming to America? He was the guy robbing the McDowells.
Yes, he was. Yes,
You
he
know
was.
what?
Yes, he
I
was.
would love to do that, actually.
Then
Let's do that.
do it.
Let's do
That
that.
would be great.
Let's do it.
Oh, sorry, James Earl Jones.
Who was also in phenomenal films that included The Sandlot, that included
Django Unchained.
Field of Dreams.
Yep.
I don't think James Earl Jones was in
No,
Django
no, I
Unchained.
thought you were talking about somebody else. Sorry. I thought you were talking about Samuel there.
L.
Nope.
I thought you were talking about Samuel.
And folks, you have won the game in 5 movies, which is the fewest allowed and the most points, because 10 minus 5 is 5 points. Did you get the wild card of Gabrielle Union? No, let me tell you, she was in Cadillac Records with Beyonce, who was in Dreamgirls with Eddie Murphy. Just putting that out there. She played the wife of Muddy Waters, while Beyonce, who funded the movie, who produced it, starred as Etta James.
When you dream, girls.
Which I was disappointed in.
Hey, Jason, there was one with Gabrielle Union and Alec Baldwin.
There
What
sure
was that
was.
movie?
What was it?
And I would love to tell you that right after this short break. Hey, it's producer Jason stepping in here real quick to thank you for listening to 5 to 9, a movie game podcast. We're actually really excited to bring this show back for its new season with new and improved audio and video. If you listen to the audio version, make sure you subscribe on your podcast app of choice to make sure you get the newest episodes as soon as they release. And if you want to watch the video as well, make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Links to all of these can be found at 5to9game.com. Okay, you followed? You there? You got it? Great. Let's get back to the show.
And we're back. And Jason, can you give us that linchpin movie that could have gotten us our wild card, Gabrielle Union?
I would love to in a second, because I have some very direct routes from our main actors here.
Okay.
The fastest route to get there without, in under 5 steps, from Lindsay Lohan, you get Machete with Robert De Niro,
Ooh.
Sure.
who was in The Good Shepherd with Alec Baldwin.
There we go.
Makes sense.
Now, you would not have won the game with 2 movies. The game is called 5 to 9.
Yep. I'm just giving you direct routes. Lindsay Lohan was also in Scary Movie 5 with Terry Crews.
Oh, that is true.
Who is in Deliver Us from Eva with Gabrielle Union.
That is
All
true.
right.
Now, Gabrielle Union, we can get directly to Alec Baldwin in 2019's The Public.
Oh, that was not a movie that I had seen. It was on my radar.
The poster for which I'm looking right at, and her picture is right above his.
There you go.
I'm
I
saying,
don't think I saw that
knew
one. I don't know.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
saw it, no.
2019, stuff got weird after that, and we all kind of missed some movies, unfortunately, but now we're back into it.
I can only say this very smugly because I'm looking it up as you guys are playing for real. So,
Very fair.
as a dirty cheater, I feel like you should have known that.
You're the
Yeah,
best
yes.
dirty cheater I know. I love you.
I
dude.
try.
So, guys, what about bonus points? We did not get our wild card. We did not do Kevin Bacon. Did we go through the house rule of movies from the 80s? We did. Trading Places
Yes, we
is
did.
from 80s. Coming to America is from the 80s. That's worth 2 extra points. Freaky Friday is a remake of a movie which was not from the 80s. I believe it was the 70s originally for the first Freaky Friday. Did we get an SNL cast member in there? We sure did with Eddie Murphy. He's good for an extra point. So you get the 5. You get 2 points on our house rule. You get 1 point on SNL cast member for 8 points and a win. Matt Daniels, James Dalton, thank you so much for taking the time to be on 5 to 9 today, for playing our game. You've each won the official 5 to 9 gamepad, which comes with 50 game cards and is also available now at 5to9game.com. Listeners, make sure to check out any of Matt Daniels' bands. And of course, if Asbury Park and Me is coming to a city near you with James Dalton, you don't want to miss it. If you 5 to 9ers listening out there in the podcast ether were chomping at the bit, yelling out a better solution to today's challenge as we played through it, enter for a chance to come on the show by beating us at our own game. Get your official 5 to 9 game cards at 5to9game.com. That's the number 5, T-O, the number 9, game.com. Play today's challenge and tag at 5 to 9 game on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook with your game card in your post. High scores, as well as creativity and entertainment value, will all be considered. This has been 5 to 9. I'm your host, Eric Ginsberg. Our show is recorded at the Showroom Cinema on Cookman Avenue in fantastic Asbury Park, New Jersey. Our producers are Jason Portizo and Laura Ginsberg. Our theme music is Monday Night on an Otherwise Empty Beach, which is on my album Fire, streaming on all platforms. Subscribe to the 5 to 9 podcast through Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube if you want to look at us too, or literally anywhere else you get podcasts. Play along with us on social media at 5 to 9 game on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can play today's challenge or make up your own and play with or against the global 5 to 9 community. Just don't forget to tag at 5 to 9 game when you do. Thanks for listening, and let's play together again soon.